Hey guys, welcome to the All About Auburn podcast. I have a really special guest. He's been administrator since day one in the All About Auburn group on Facebook. Scottie Boyd, what's up, Scotty?
Hey, what's going on, Devin?
What's up, man?
Much. Another great day to be an Auburn Tiger, baby. War
War
Eagle.
Eagle. So today we're gonna go over. Hell, I thought I was pretty ahead on recruiting. Scotty's been showing me up in the group with people I don't even know. So today we're gonna go over some of our prospects that are either considering us or we're in the top five. So we're going to start with Darius Clemens. He's a wide receiver, 6'3", 205. The number 20 receiver in the country, the number one receiver in Oregon. What you think about him, Scotty?
Man, that would be a huge pickup for us if we can get a big body receiver such as Clemens down on the plains, brother. Like you said, we're going to be in a competition, like you said, with Penn State and a couple more
Yeah,
schools.
Michigan, USC, Notre Dame.
Right, right. And like I tell a lot of people too, man. Don't be surprised if Oregon will jump into into
Absolutely.
that race as well, because like I said, he's right there at their back door. If they allow that kid to leave from Oregon to hit the plains or anywhere else, then that's a big win for anyone that picks this kid up.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
yes, like like I say, he's a big body kid, man. His tangibles on film, he's a physical route runner and stuff, and that's something that we need. We need guys that are able to go up against the different DBs that we have in our conference in the Southeast, man, because they're very physical. So we need guys that can counter that physicality as well. And like I said, man, looking at him on film, man, he would be a perfect fit for us.
Definitely. So we've done a pretty good job of recruiting guys similar to that stature and that skill set. So I'm pretty optimistic we can land that guy. Hopefully, we're in this basically his top four, but I'm pretty positive. We're in a good running for him. So next we have a cornerback. He's from Missouri. Toriano Pride, 5'11", 172 pounds. So the guy's gained weight once he hit the weight room. 5'11",
Right.
that's good. That's pretty good height. We're running for Clemson, which is tough. Auburn, Ohio State, Missouri, Oregon. So the fact that we're even in with Clemson, Ohio State in a recruiting battle is pretty much speaks for itself.
Absolutely. I mean, that lets me know that our coaching staff is not afraid to go toe to toe with the other big Power Five uh, teams. To go after players. They're different than the last staff that we had. What I felt the last staff is if they saw a player being recruited by some of the Power Five teams, they would kind of skirt away from that player and go for lower ranking players and star players and stuff like that just to fill a spot. But Harson is very aggressive. His coaching staff is very aggressive, and like I said, it speaks volumes to know that we're even in his top. Between us and Clemson, man, that speaks volumes. That means that we're really putting in
Absolutely.
the work. We're putting in the work to get the kids there on the plains, man, and I'm excited. And I think even with his size, like you said, once with our new strengthening program, man, he'll put on a little bit of size and bulk, and I think he'll be fine. The kid's skill set is crazy when you look at him on film, man. He's a ball hawk. He tracks the ball very well and stuff, and he's a physical player as well. So, like I said, I mean, we're going after some top tier players, man. I just pray we can get them on the plains.
Absolutely. So next we have Caden Story, the strong side defensive end. Florida State is on the cool side. So many people that don't know about the 24/7, um, basically their prediction model. You have a cool, you have a warm, you have a warmer. So
Right.
Florida State's on the cool side. Alabama, UCF, surprisingly, and Texas A&M are on the warm side. Auburn is on the warmer side. From what I've seen over the years, the warmer side is basically automatic lock. You have Caden Story, 6'4", 264 pounds, strong side defensive end. Number 12 position, number 11 player in the state of Alabama. He's a four-star. Pretty much a lock. How much would he benefit to the team?
I'm not gonna say go with you to say he's quite a lock, man. I read a story not too long ago where his brother, I guess, when he was being recruited by, I believe, Texas A&M, and Caden Story had a comment in the fact of he heard that Texas A&M was, a school that he would probably consider going out to visit and stuff like that. So that's going to be a tough one there, man. But I mean, if we land him, that would be huge, huge for us as well. That shows that we're able to recruit in our own backyard and to keep our kids in state, man. And that's the big thing that we was not able to do with the last group was that we was losing a lot of our guys to, different schools outside of the state of Alabama. But I think that we can land him, man. I think that'd be a big, huge pickup for us and stuff, and it'll start, a good trend for the new coaching staff.
Yeah, with Coach Harsin, that should be one of the main goals. So, under the Gus staff, we have definitely lost a lot of the elite recruits in the state of Alabama. To get a guy like that sitting in our backyard is huge,
Right.
especially when he is really considering us. So
Right.
we definitely need to win those. So Holden Garnier, he's committed to Auburn. He's a pro star quarterback, 6'3", 210 pounds, number 12 in his position. He just got his 4-star in the composite. He's a 23rd recruit in the state of Alabama. So I'm sure you've watched the film. I know you have. The
Yes.
guy has a cannon for an arm. He has pretty good
Yes.
footwork. I think Mike Bobo and Brian Hartz can convert this kid into a good quarterback. Hopefully he catches the red shirt
Right.
somehow or another, because we do have Demetrius Davis, the very highly
Yes.
talented quarterback out of Texas. Dude's a beast. Footwork is amazing, even for a freshman. He threw the
Mhm.
best ball in A-Day. He almost threw a pick, but it happens. So
Right.
yeah, I'm optimistic. I'm very optimistic about this kid.
Right.
And if you're a quarterback recruit coming into Auburn in this class, you better be ready to compete with Davis and Garnier. So we're gonna
Right.
jump to Curtis Perry. He's from Montgomery. He's a 4-star. He's number 6 defensive tackle in the country. He's warm on Auburn. And here you go. He's competing with Alabama and Auburn. Nobody else in the running technically. He's the number 6 DT in the country. And for our 3-4, this dude's a 98 overall. He's almost a 4-star.
Right.
I mean, and for our 3-4, that is huge. A guy
Right.
like Curtis Perry that can gap fill, that can make those plays, that is huge in our set. So it's between us and Alabama. Some of these guys are between us, Alabama, and Florida State. I'm sorry. To land
Right.
somebody like that would be absolutely huge,
It would
especially
absolutely be
with
huge,
some of the
man.
transfers we've had.
Right. And I just want to say, we got some kids coming in, over the summers as well as Marquez Burks, the kid out of Milton, Florida, is another big kid that I actually had an opportunity to watch him play down in Milton, man. That kid is a monster. He's a monster of a kid. Now, whether he's been, continuing to work out, over this break to be prepared to come into the season or into the fall camp to compete, that is yet to be seen. But with Curtis Perry, man, when you talk about a 3-star who's being recruited by Alabama, that tells you something. You know.
Oh, he got
So
he
you
got
get
bumped. He got bumped to a 4-star. He's almost a 5-star now.
oh wow, wow, wow,
Yeah,
wow. Yeah.
he
So
he,
yeah.
he was lower rate, and he done got the bump.
Oh wow. Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
huge. Like you said, it being in the running for that kid. And I think, like I said, man, with this new coaching staff, once again it just shows that it's something that they're saying to these kids that's having them to even keep Auburn into consideration, man. With the changeover of new coaching staff, sometimes it scares a lot of kids off, but that lets me know that they're really selling Auburn to these kids, and that's what we need. We need coaches that's aggressive, that's not afraid to go
absolutely.
toe to toe with other Power 5 teams, to let them know, hey, we may not get this kid, but understand we're coming for him as well.
Yeah, and a lot of these kids have been either under non-ranked or 3-stars, 2-stars. Man, these guys have been bumped up like Curtis Perry. Last time I remember, he was barely a 4-star. Now this dude's almost a 5-star. So it just shows the talent that this new that I know we hired a guy that basically just looks for recruits, and he's obviously
Mm-hmm.
doing a great job to find some of these kids, like Latravial. I can't remember his name. He's a wide receiver. He's unranked as of now. This dude's a beast. He has offers from everywhere. I don't know if he's on this list, but just to show you the eye for talent these guys have. So next we're gonna jump to Omarion Hampton. Big position right here. He's a running back. He's a mid 4-star, the number 10 running back in the country. He's 6', 215 pounds. He's from North Carolina, so he has Ohio State, Penn State, and Auburn in his top 3. Then Florida and North Carolina. So I mean, say you go and beat a Penn State, you're right there
Right.
in the top 2, more than likely.
Absolutely.
So I mean, and me, you, Vernon, a lot of the guys on the administrator page, which we have, in the messenger. We've been talking a lot about that Penn State game, how big it
Yes,
could be for recruiting. So I
absolutely.
mean, this is just a prime example. So
Right.
you have a guy this talented with that size. I've watched some of his tape. He's fast. He has basically everything you need in attribute wise to compete with, to knock Penn State out of the race pretty much. If you go in and humiliate Penn State on the road at Happy Valley, make it Ohio State and Auburn, that could be a huge deal.
Right, but I think, like you said, I think if we go up to Penn State, man, and showcase our running attack that we have, I think that will really solidify us as a true contender for that kid. And like I said, he's a big kid. He's a physical runner, and he fits the mold that we need at Auburn with the new system that we're running. That downhill running, and we need big
Yeah,
backs like
absolutely.
that can take the pounding week in and week out against our big SEC West teams, and just down in our conference as a whole. So that's one of the areas that we really need to be harping on. And I really think that kid may be a huge pickup for us as well. From what I read, he has a pretty good relationship with Cadillac right now, and he's I think he's also coming down for an official visit as well to Auburn.
Right, right. So speaking of guys that we could really use in that run game, you have Riley Quick from Trussville, Alabama. He is 6'5", 260 pounds, little undersized, but a year or two, this dude's 280, 290 pounds. He's the 15th offensive tackle in the country. He's warm for Auburn, and like I said, here we go again. Alabama and Auburn, nobody else. So, yeah, I mean,
Oh man.
he's a mid 4-star, 94 rating. That's elite. So, I mean, if you can snag some of these guys from Alabama, which is what they've
Right.
done in the past from us,
Right.
I mean, the results speak for themselves.
Absolutely, and and we're in need of offensive tackles, man, and that's something that we've been in the need for years. Poor recruiting has really hurt us in that department, and just looking at some of the recruits that we're going after, there's a lot of O linemen that we're actually trending towards right now, and like you said, to snatch that kid, like I said, another you know a grown kid, you know, would be great for the program, and especially to pull him from Alabama. That would be huge,
Absolutely.
huge for the program. And I really think that we have an opportunity, we have a shot because everybody can't go to Alabama. So we have to
Absolutely.
win one. We have to win one or two at least. So I mean, I'm not too worried about that. But like I said, I mean, our footprint is big now in recruiting, so we're reaching out to a lot of areas. A lot of people aren't looking at for recruits, and that speaks volumes. And it's something that Coach Harsin spoke about when he first came into Auburn, and he's living true to his word.
Yeah, a lot of people that don't follow recruiting, so that's been one of our biggest issues. So we have very strongly tried. We have a lack of decent offensive tackle recruits. So at
Right.
one point, I think it was what 2 years. I want to say we signed. I want to say it's no offensive tackle. So
No.
we had
Yeah.
we had
None.
guys out of position.
Yes.
The guards weren't super highly recruited. So and
Right.
and they were basically pure guards. So
Right.
that is a big emphasis, according to Coach Harsin. So we definitely need to get that intact, and that could be the separation in between a very powerful run attack and an average run attack. So
Absolutely.
we have DJ Wesolak. He's from Missouri. He's a 4-star, he's a weak side defensive end. He has Arizona, USC, Miami, Alabama, of course, and Auburn. So he's number 10 weak side defensive end in the country. So over the past decade, we have got some of these, highly talented defensive ends,
Right.
weak side, strong side defense, or even defensive tackle. Or if you want to make some numbers and you're basically guaranteed a spot in the pro, you pretty much go to Auburn or Alabama.
Absolutely.
Miami's not doing it. USC is
Nope.
definitely not doing it, and Arizona State is definitely not doing it.
Definitely not doing
Especially
it.
when Nick Eason he spent time in the pros.
Right.
I mean, I would
Right.
think you would be crazy not to go to. And I'm gonna say it to either go to Auburn or Alabama.
Right.
Because I don't
Right.
want this guy to go to Alabama, but you gotta at least choose one of those schools. So,
Absolutely.
and he's
Absolutely.
6'3" and a half. He's 240 pounds. A weak side defensive end. He might be 260 playing time. I've
Hmm.
watched some of his tape. He's quick. He's got good
He's quick.
footwork. Very good hand
Yes.
placement. So
Yes.
I mean, like like but before Nick Cole basically went irrelevant, like his first couple years, that it's basically some DJ Westlake type stuff. So he had good hand placement. He'd get in the backfield. He didn't always make the sags, but
Right.
he had great pressure. So
Right.
that's who I kind of look at in this type of mold. And also,
Absolutely.
if I'm not mistaken, Cole was like what 220 coming in. I
Yes.
think he's playing what it was like 270. I mean,
Uh huh.
especially with the new weight program, we're gonna get
Right.
you up. So we're gonna
Right.
jump
Right.
to T.J. Dudley from Montgomery, Alabama,
Montgomery,
six
Alabama.
one, 220 pound, all outside linebacker. He's a 4-star, number 16 linebacker in the country. we've done very good at this position, at the outside linebacker position. So we have Alabama at the top, Texas Longhorns. I don't know why anybody would want to go
Let's go
Texas right
Texas.
now.
Yeah.
I personally don't know. Auburn and UCF. I feel like, and I haven't checked this in probably about a month. I feel like a lot of these UCF jumps have been just from the Gus administration.
Right.
Because I don't recall UCF being in the run for some of these guys. But
No.
I would assume this is Alabama and Auburn. If you're going to Texas, I mean, you're probably maybe winning 7 games if you're lucky.
Right.
Oklahoma's beating you for what, the 7th time in a row with the conference title. I mean, come on
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, that kid T.J. Dudley, man, he's a beast on film, man. And like I
And
said,
he's
he will.
huge for
Yes.
outside, and he's fast.
Yes.
He's huge.
He's fast. Yes. And I said he will fit perfectly with what the scheme that we're trying to run. So I'm like you. I think it's gonna come down between us and Alabama. It's just gonna take us really, like you said, getting these kids on campus is going to be huge for us, man. To get them in for an official visit, to be able to let them see and get a feel of the environment and stuff. I think that's going to work, wonders for us. And I mean, Coach Mason, man, the guy is a genius when it comes to defense.
Absolutely.
When you have NFL teams calling you, asking you how to run a particular defense to stop a pro style, a pro offense, come on, man. That there alone
Absolutely.
lets you know that you're coming to play for a guy who has the tangibles to get you to where you want to be as well. So I'm hoping that we can continue to push for these kids, and like I said, he'll be a huge pickup for us, man, a huge one.
Yeah, no doubt. Derek Mason's cream of the crop at defensive coordinator. Look at his tenure at Stanford, and even Vandy. They played very hard. That these are
Right.
schools that are very, very hard to get elite talent in, due to the academic standards. So
Mm-hmm.
we have Demario Tolan, inside linebacker from Florida. He's 6'2", 205 pounds, number 9 inside linebacker in the country. Miami, LSU, Auburn, Tennessee, Florida State. Auburn's number 3 on his chart right now. As an inside linebacker, personally, I would choose Auburn every day, especially with a 3-4 going.
Or. Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's your opportunity right there. If you want to make, if you're capable of getting the production, go to Auburn.
Right.
LSU, no. Miami, no.
Right.
Tennessee's in a rebuild year. Florida State
Yeah.
hasn't been good really since 2013. Go to
Right.
Florida, get your weight up, shout to the War Report, and go to the NFL. I mean, you're going to get your
Right.
numbers. Go to the NFL. You're going to get drafted.
Right.
If you're that talented in the first, 3 rounds, if you're that good, I expect
Right.
Jacob McClain on Papo to be at least first, second, or third round, and
Absolutely.
that's being very generous.
Generous. Right. Right. And I think this
So
year
you
is
have
really going to show their talent.
absolutely. So you have Tyrese Fearby. He's a weak side defensive end from Pennsylvania,
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
number 12 in the country, 4-star. Pittsburgh obviously is top choice, but Auburn's right there with them as a
Right.
top choice. Then you have Penn State. Like I said, you beat Penn State in that Happy Valley game,
Mm-hmm.
or it just proved that the defense is that good.
Right.
Because obviously most of the concerns are on offense. Then you have Kentucky, not worry about them, and then there's nobody else in the runner really. So it's basically Pitt, Auburn, Penn State. So go show that Penn State that you have a legitimate defense, that Derek Mason knows what he's doing. You're going to beat Pitt out. I mean,
Right. Right.
Auburn sends guys to the NFL. Maybe not as great as we have, but
Right.
look at Cam Newton, first
Yeah.
round. I mean, we'll go back to 2004. 3 guys in the first round. You had
Right.
Greg, what was his name? Greg Robinson, first
Robinson.
round.
Yep.
Cam Newton, first pick
Mm-hmm.
in the draft. You
Yep.
have guys that have went first round, very highly picked. So we're
Right.
gonna jump to Damari Alston, and I know you know this guy. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. He's 5'11", 205 pounds, number 29 running back in the
Right.
country. He's one for Auburn. Auburn leads for him. You posted it in the group. I know you recall this guy.
Yeah.
Auburn is
Yes,
pretty
sir.
much a sure favorite for this guy. You have Florida
Yeah.
State, Georgia Tech, and Ohio State. Then Alabama's on the cool side. Uh, from
Man, that
everything
kid,
I've
man.
seen, this guy and he's a 4-star.
Yeah.
Auburn's pretty much a lock for this dude. So,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
like his
Yeah.
size coming in.
Right.
You get a guy 5'11", 205. He's going to be 5'11", 210, 215 by the time he plays. He's going to be
Right.
faster, quicker, stronger, better
Right.
IQ, especially with Cornell coaching.
Right.
I mean, so I'm very optimistic about him. So we can go to Jacoby Albert. He's an athlete, which Auburn has done a great job of recruiting athletes, just putting them where they need to go under the Gus Malzahn system. And I'm even more optimistic about what Brian Hartz can do with athletes.
Right.
And for me, this is probably the biggest lock there is. He's from Fairfield, Alabama. High 3-star. He's right there, and he's an 89, right there within a few points of being a 4-star. He's the
4-star.
25th athlete in the country. His teams are Auburn and Maryland. So, and everybody else is cool. Arkansas is cool. Florida State's cool. Georgia's cool. I mean, Auburn, Maryland. I mean, athlete, come on now. I mean,
Right.
I like to think about, which I know Ryan Davis was recruited as a wide receiver, but pretty much just an athlete. So where's he at now? He's from the New England Patriots.
Right.
I mean, like, you'd be a fool not to go to Auburn. The only person I know that's notable that went to Maryland and got recruited was Byron Cowart, former Auburn DN. Said he didn't try very hard in practice, which he admitted to. Ended up making a workout, made to the NFL.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna jump to Marcus Allen. He's a cornerback, 6'2", 165. I like that height. Right there on the same threshold as the running back, 89. 33 cornerback in the country, North Carolina and Auburn. So proximity wise, he's closer to Auburn. North Carolina's got a good squad. So I think if we show up this year the way that me and you think we will on defense, we can land this guy. So, and this guy might be a 4-star. He's right on the threshold.
Yeah, and then you look at it, like we're recruiting now. If you look at our DBs and stuff that we're going after too as well, they're going for more now length and as well because we've been inside. I would think, from looking at it from our cornerbacks, Carlton Davis was huge, man. He's a big, huge cornerback, but most of them have been pretty, height wise, haven't been that tall. So we're going after, the length now, which is good. He can stand up on a few more pounds and stuff like that, which, like I said,
Right.
Strength in the program. He'll be close to probably about 175, 180 maybe, and I think the kid he'll be solid for us. He'll be a solid pickup. And like I said,